here's the big problem when I see. Number one, we're too tight. That's where I talked about getting the hips to go. Number two, when we try to get the hips to move more, a lot of times I'll see players confuse a sway with a turn. So if I sway, what that looks like is my hips slide this way. They're not rotating. So if I put this club across my hips, they're not rotating this like this. So they're not doing this in the backswing, they're swaying. So it's kind of just shifting laterally. When I do that, now my hips bump over here. I get in this kind of reverse pivot look, slight reverse pivot, and I'm set up in a not very powerful position. So what I want you to feel like is instead of getting that hip to move this way, to sway, I want you to feel like the hip moves back. Imagine you're pushing straight back on that right hip. That's getting that to turn this way. Another key I like to think of, same idea, just different visual. Imagine you have a rope tied to your right belt loop somewhere here, and there's somebody behind you in the backswing pulling on your right hip. I want you to feel like that hip goes back this way as you make your backswing. That frees up the lower body, that gets you looser. And now, as you try to rotate the upper body, you get a much better turn, a lot more power, and a lot more distance. So here, the key I'm gonna have is I wanna focus on that guy behind me, rotating my hips. And let's go ahead and hit another one. I'm gonna see if I can hit it a few yards farther and higher than I did on that last one. Let's try it out. There we go, really high on that one. That was pretty far. That's probably a little longer than the one before, or at least pretty close to the same distance. What was the distance on that one?
Club head speed was 100 even, and then total distance went up to 193.4.
Okay, so again, maybe a little bit thin is the reason it wasn't perfect, but the club head speed was up. I started at 83, I had one at 98, one at 100, way faster. Even if I miss hit that last one slightly, it's still gonna be tons of distance. All right, Q, so I know you have a lot of great information on this. You know, what do you recommend for the guy that's really struggling, kind of in addition to what we talked about?
Right, so another issue arises whenever you get that sliding in the backswing, you're gonna get that sliding in the downswing too, because you get that momentum going forward. And when you do that, you're gonna end up kind of chopping down into the ball, and that ball's gonna come out really, really low. So if you go, you do that slide in the backswing.
So the backswing, I'm going here. My hips are sliding over to the right. They're kind of getting almost outside my right ankle a little bit there.
And now if we slide in the downswing here.
Yeah, that almost gets my, well, even when I feel that, what you're saying, my upper body's kind of angled this way, and it almost feels like I just want to come over to the left, like you're saying.
And when you chop down into the ball, that really de-lofts the face and takes a lot of loft. And we want to de-loft the face, but we don't want to do it this way where we're chopping down into the ball. We still want to come into the ball a little bit shallow, because when you do that, it's going to make you really inconsistent. So what we want to do is we want to be nice and angled away, have our head a little bit behind the ball as we're coming in. So if you want to scoot back a little bit, there we go. You want to feel like your lead ankle here, your lead hip, your lead shoulder are all in a straight line there, just slightly angled away from the target. It's almost like if I'm standing here, Clay can't hit me at all with his hip as he's coming through, because if he does, he's going to end up really sliding forward and chopping down into the ball. You want to feel like somebody's in front of you like that and stopping you from doing that. So you want to feel like you're really opening up, staying behind the ball with your head there a little bit, and that's going to allow you to get that nice high ball flight that you're looking for.
Yeah, so I'm kind of behind it a little bit more. I'm still got the forward shaft lean, but it's still going to, get some compression on there. So I agree with you 100% there. If I get that sway, I feel like I'm immediately going to shift in front of it. My weight's going to get thrown up here, and then I'm just kind of chopping down into the golf ball. It's going to be too low. Contact's going to be inconsistent. It's going to be just kind of a mess. So let me try one again. I want to do it the way that Q was talking about there, where I want to add those drills together. Number one, I want to, again, imagine that rope is on my right hip. It's being pulled back behind me. And then when I come in my downswing, instead of letting me slide in front, I'm going to feel like I stay behind my lead ankle and I rotate all the way on through the shot. So let's go ahead and give that a whirl. So in the backswing, maybe I'll do 10 reps here, or if you're practicing this, do 10 reps, focusing on the right hip, rotating in the backswing. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then once I've done those 10 reps, I'm going to do the next 10 reps, focusing on not sliding in front. So the backswing reps are to help me to get more speed. That gets the ball higher. The downswing reps are to make sure that I'm not sliding in front and chopping and getting inconsistent. I'm staying behind the golf ball and I'm really rotating. That's going to help to get it higher even more. Let's try that out.